Willie D live.
What's up, family? As Nolan Wells' family continued to grieve for him and prepare for a candlelight vigil in honor of his upcoming birthday in a couple of days, they are now facing and fighting two battles. One, trying to figure out what exactly happened to Nolan. Two, pushing back against a narrative that they're somehow standing in the way of finding out. So who started the uncooperative family narrative? Who did that? The family's attorneys say they've been cooperating. So who claimed otherwise? And what specific cooperation was supposedly refused? Let's not argue about vague accusations, family. Let's not let vague accusations become fact. What exactly did the Wells family refuse to do? That's what I want to know. What exactly did they refuse to do? I want receipts. The phone dispute is not the same as refusing to cooperate. If the disagreement involves how Nolan's phone or other evidence should be examined, let's look at it. Let's look at the difference between refusing an investigation and attorneys insisting on safeguards over how potentially critical evidence is handled. Family, a legal disagreement over procedure doesn't automatically equal obstruction. So it sounds like to me that somebody's trying to shift the focus. They're trying to shift the focus to Nolan's family. Now, why is that? This was about Nolan. Next thing you know, it's about his family. And then it circled back to being about Nolan because they started talking about Nolan was drinking. They started talking about he was on drugs. He's using. Of course, they didn't tell on themselves. This is his friends talking about how he was drinking. But that's been refuted by the coach who said he talked to him extensively that day about a variety of things. And he appeared to be sharp. He appeared to not be intoxicated at all. This is the narrative that the friends came up with. Nolan is the person who died. If the conversation suddenly becomes more about whether his grieving parents are cooperative enough, well, we should be asking whether the attention is being diverted from the central questions. So what's going on? Like, how are they so easily able to be so manipulative? I got it. Mainstream media is really good at that. Mainstream media has always done a hit job on Black Americans. They've always made us the bad guy, even when we were the good guy. They've always made us the villain, even when we were the hero. They've also made us a suspect, even when we were the victim. Remember what they did to Trayvon. Remember how they flipped it. They did the same thing to 12-year-old Tamir Rice. They did the same thing to Michael Brown, same thing to Sonia Massis. The list goes on and on and on and on. It's the same playbook. They create chaos and then play the victim. So what happened to Nolan? What does the evidence show, and why are major questions still unanswered? Put the receipts on the table. That's what I say. Put the receipts on the table. If law enforcement says the family hasn't cooperated and the documentation But the attorneys say they have the documentation should settle much of that dispute. So, what requests were made? When? How did the family respond? What remains unsolved? That's what we need to know. What remains unsolved? Somebody's version of the story isn't matching the other side. And instead of asking us to pick who we believe, show us the timeline. That's all you got to do. Show us the timeline. It's simple. It's as simple as that. Going after the family was a bad idea. Bad, horrible idea. Trying to dig up old stories on the mother. Bad idea. Same thing with the father. Bad idea. We're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We're not falling for the okie doke. We know your kind. We know your play. We know how you get down. And we ain't falling for it. If you want us to fall for something, let us fall for justice. Help us get there. You got the authority. Help us get there. That's all you got to do. You want us to respect you. Do your job. Let me tell you something, fam. This is the cold part. This is for all these people out here that get mad at people who are making content, right? People who got questions. If we had answers, we wouldn't have so many questions. The more questions we ask, the more questions develop because they can't provide any plausible answers. All of it is trying to scare people. You're trying to spook people into silence. You're trying to, circumvent the asking, the questions part of it. You're trying to get around all of that. You're trying to be a central focus in this case, but not be a central focus in the investigation. It don't work like that. If you didn't want to be in it, perhaps you shouldn't have gotten in it. We ain't believing none of y'all. None of you. As far as I'm concerned, everybody getting cases put on them. They better be glad I'm not investigating. I'd be one of them investigators, man. I'll buck the system. I'd be bucking the system. Oh, they would absolutely. But then again, they wouldn't even allow somebody like me to become an investigator. They wouldn't allow somebody like me to work in the sheriff's office because I'm righteous. I ain't say I was right. I said righteous. It's a big difference. See, I'd be for the people. And not just my people. I'd be for the people, period. Just for the people. I'd be for righteousness. Strictly. Just for people, period. I absolutely would be a major asset for Black folks because we already know that Black folks get disproportionately targeted by law enforcement. That's a fact, Jack. With me around, they're going to have to do something different. Yeah, they be trying to get me up out of there because they wouldn't be able to control me. They wouldn't be able to, I'm not a sucker. So you wouldn't be able to punk me, make me look the other way while you busting up a Black person, beating them across the head, shooting them and all that. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, and you wouldn't do it in my presence. Yeah, I'm cut from a different cloth. Yeah, not gonna happen. Not on my watch. Something else ain't gonna happen on my watch. Sitting back, allowing y'all to attack this family. Don't know them personally, but from all accounts, seem like good people. They just seem like good people to me. And the way they've conducted themselves amid all of this turmoil, these people ain't really had a proper time to grieve, because they had to get on the horse right away and start pursuing justice, because they saw right away that they was trying to close the case before it was even opened. The sheriff, within 1 hour of finding Nolan's body, within 1 hour of Nolan's body being discovered, the sheriff said, "We don't suspect foul play. We don't see any signs of foul play." That's what he said. Hadn't even examined the body. So the family's just supposed to trust you just because you got a badge on and a uniform. That badge and that uniform has represented a whole lot of death and destruction, more bad than good. And we're supposed to just take your word for it, right? It don't work like that. I take the word of the family. I'm on the side of the family, 100%. I'm on the side of the family. Prove me wrong. Show me some receipts. Y'all got the receipts. Show me the receipts. What's up with those phones? Not just Nolan's phone. The phones of all his friends. I want to see those phones. Let's see those transcripts. I bet you $1 to a donut those transcripts got something incriminating on them. Otherwise, they would allow the authorities to check them out immediately. They start sharing it. Y'all know how people do today, fam. They share messages all the time. People share all types of private messages. I ain't seen none from them, between them and No yet. None. Now, I'm sure after saying that, because I know they be watching, they'll probably put out a couple of text messages. Obviously, they'll only show the favorable ones, right? The cool ones, right? They ain't going to show from that day of, at least not from the time that Nolan was allegedly or went missing. I bet you they won't show it from that time. They're only going to show the text messages that makes them look good. You might fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool me none of the time. I don't trust you because I know you. I studied you. What say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.